So before we begin, so this is just a lot more background, specific background information for Romeo and Juliet. So I want you to answer in full sentences if you're doing this on your own. So why do you think we are still reading a play this old today? So I think we still read this play because. And secondly, define tragedy in your own words and give an example from real life. So it could be from the news, maybe it could be from your own life, maybe it's someone you know. So tragedy means, and an example of a tragedy is. And then finally, so a tragedy is an event causing great suffering, destruction, and distress, such as a serious accident, crime, or a natural catastrophe. And then finally, what does tragic love mean? Give an example of tragic love from stories, movies, or television shows. So you would start it off tragic love means, and then an example of tragic love from a story is. So this book or this Romeo and Juliet was based on a poem. That we already talked about this earlier, Arthur Brooks' poem, but they felt that the poem was actually boring. So the poem takes place over 9 months, and it's Juliet is 16 years old, but in the play it takes place only over a few days, and Juliet is 13. So obviously the story, the play, obviously there's a big issue with Juliet being very young that she is, but you have to remember it's 500 years ago. It's Shakespearean times. It's Elizabethan England. They didn't have quite the same societal rules that we had to have today. So since Shakespeare's time, this story continues to be changed and adapted numerous times. So the two major sides on this is the Capulets and the Montagues. So Juliet is a Capulet, and Romeo is a Montague. So repeat it after me if you want, or if you're doing this on your own. Capulet, Montague. So the Capulets, Juliet is a 13 or 14-year-old girl. She's the main, obviously one of the main characters. Her parents are Lord and Lady Capulet. Count Paris is the man Juliet's father wants her to marry, and Tybalt is Juliet's cousin and nurse. She's only referred to as nurse. She is Juliet's nurse, who has taken care of her since she was a baby. And then on the Montague side, we have Romeo Montague, who's a young man about 17 or 18 years old. His parents, Lord and Lady Montague. We have his cousin, Benvolio Montague, and his best friend, Mercutio. And then acting as sort of the old man, the mentor figure to him is Friar Lawrence, a priest and also one of his friends. So, what is a spoiler? Audience in Shakespearean times, they came to the play, they knew the plot, but it was not considered a spoiler. So, the setting place Verona, Italy, time late 1500s. So, these are some pictures of Verona during that time period. And the plot. So, obviously, the Capulets and the Montagues, it's a family feud, not the game show with Steve Harvey, but a more serious bloodbath feud. They desperately hated each other. So this is a scene from one of the many live plays that they've done. So just a quick reminder. Remember, Romeo and Juliet is very heavy on theme. There's many different themes that we could have, but it's a very there's none more prevalent than uh, the star-crossed lovers or forbidden love. And then just another reminder: motifs are recurring structures, contrasts, and literary devices that can help to develop and inform the text's major themes. So opposites attract, or it could be light and dark imagery.